Friends, something is brewing on two fronts of the global chessboard. One, in the streets of Serbia, chaos, violence, and whispers of civil war. The other, thousands of kilometers away, in the icy shadow of Alaska, where Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are preparing for a historic meeting. A meeting that could redraw the map of Ukraine without Ukraine even being at the table. What happens next could change Europe forever, and it might already be too late to stop it. Let's begin in Serbia, a small Balkan nation with just 6.5 million people, but right now it feels like a lit fuse burning toward an explosion. For 9 months the country has been in turmoil. Tens of thousands have taken to the streets, city after city, chanting for one thing: the resignation of President Aleksandar Vučić. Their accusations, corruption, theft, and a political elite clinging to power. It started in Novi Sad, Serbia's second-largest city. The roof of the train station collapsed, killing 16 people and injuring many more. Tragedy, yes. But protesters claimed it wasn't just bad luck. They alleged materials had been stolen during construction, corners had been cut, and lives had been lost because someone put profit over safety. From that day, anger spread like wildfire. Massive crowds, sometimes 150,000 or even 200,000 people, filled the streets. But this week, something changed. The protests turned violent, and the danger shifted from clashes with police to Serbs fighting Serbs. Pro-government supporters, many wearing masks to hide their identities, appeared in the streets. Who were they? Angry citizens? Paid thugs? Undercover police? But what we do know is that they carried sticks, bottles, even fireworks. And they came face to face with anti-government demonstrators. In Belgrade and Novi Sad, these groups collided. Windows were smashed, party offices were vandalized, police fired warning shots into the air as tensions spiraled. Over the last 72 hours alone, more than 100 people have been injured, dozens arrested, and even opposition MPs caught in the chaos. And here's the chilling part: in a protester versus police fight, there are rules, courtrooms, procedures. But when two civilian groups with opposing politics start beating each other in the streets, that's when a country slips into civil war territory. International observers accuse Serbian police of using arbitrary and disproportionate force. The government claims it's simply defending itself against violent rioters. But beneath the headlines, one fact is clear: Vučić has no intention of calling early elections, and the protests, they're not going away. Now, while Serbia is boiling over in the Balkans, something far more dangerous is forming in the north. A meeting in Alaska, between two men who could decide Ukraine's fate, without Ukraine even present. For the first time in 6 years, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin will meet face to face. The location, a military base in Alaska. The symbolism? Heavy. Remember, Alaska was once Russian territory, sold to the United States in the 19th century. Now, over a century later, a Russian leader will set foot there. For the first time in history. Putin rarely travels abroad anymore, especially after the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his arrest. So why now? Analysts say it's a sign of trust, or perhaps strategy. Putin wants something, and he knows Trump is the man to talk to. And here's where it gets interesting and terrifying. Trump has openly stated that he and Putin will discuss a territorial swap in Ukraine. Yes, you heard that right. The future of Ukraine's land, negotiated between Washington and Moscow, without Kiev in the room. Putin's leaked proposal reportedly includes official recognition of Russian control over Donbas and Crimea, a freeze on fighting in Zaporizhia and Kherson sanctions relief, and Ukraine's demilitarization. In exchange, a so-called ceasefire. But this isn't peace, this is the cementing of occupation. If Trump accepts, Ukraine would be forced to recognize every inch Russia has taken since 2014, just to stop the shooting for now. No lasting agreement, no real sovereignty. Why is Donbas so important? Because it's not just land, it's industry, it's minerals, it's strategy. Before the war, Donbas was Ukraine's heavy industrial heart. Tanks, aircraft, and rare minerals all came from here. Control Donbas, and you control the gateway to Crimea from the north, as well as key railway and highway junctions. For Russia, taking the entire Donbas would open the road to central Ukraine. And once central Ukraine falls, the Russian army could be within 650 kilometers of Germany's borders and just over 1,000 kilometers from France's. That's why European leaders are panicking, urging Trump not to give Putin this prize. Let's be honest, Trump's priority is not Ukraine, it's reshaping America's relationship with Russia. In his view, ending the war quickly, even on Russia's terms, might free the US from an expensive and unpopular commitment. For Putin, the game is time. He knows American support for Ukraine is fading, and Europe can't carry the load alone. Every month that passes without a decisive Ukrainian victory is a month Russia can keep grinding forward. Right now, Russia controls about 20% of Ukraine's territory and advances slowly but steadily. So what will Alaska deliver? A ceasefire? A betrayal? Or the start of a much bigger war? In Europe, especially in the UK, there's a growing sense of déjà vu, a return to the tense uncertainty of 1939. Trump has repeatedly cast doubt on NATO's Article 5, the Mutual Defense Clause. If Russia attacks, will America really come to Europe's rescue? Nobody's sure anymore. With US aid packages from the Biden era running out, and European countries struggling to raise enough funds to keep Ukraine's government running, the window for Kiev to hold the line is shrinking fast. Without Western money, Ukraine's economy could grind to a halt. That leaves one question hanging over Alaska like the Arctic night. Whose peace will it be? Europe's or Russia's? We're days away from a meeting that could reshape the map of Europe. Will Alaska be remembered as the summit that stopped a war? Or the moment the West surrendered without firing a shot? Because if history has taught us anything, deals made in distant rooms, without the people most affected, rarely end well. Stay alert. The world is about to change. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one.